Hello there. If you own a property in Lagos, Nigeria today, I congratulate you. You have just made a wise decision. Now, if you desire to own a property, perhaps you haven't bought one or acquired one, right? There are several things that could be going through your mind. Do you buy a ready-made apartment or home, or do you buy the land and build on it? In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 pros and cons of taking either option. Stay with me till the end of this video to get the full gist of everything. So if you are a high net worth individual and you can afford to buy properties in places like, say, Lekki, VI, Ikoyi, then you probably want to buy land, right? And then you can build on the land over time. The advantage of that is that it gives you the freedom to build to taste. Whereas if budget is a consideration, you probably want to consider buying a ready-made apartment, especially if the developer of that apartment gives you the option of paying over a period of time. That way, you are able to manage your budget and also manage your cash flow. It all depends on the size of your pocket. Number 2, amenities. Now, if you buy a ready-made apartment or a ready-made home, for instance, do you know that most developers offer serviced units? So what that means is that as you are paying for the unit, you are also indirectly paying for the added services. However, if you buy land, bear in mind that in most cases, you'd have to provide your own facilities yourself. You'd have to provide your own amenities as well for yourself. Although, on the flip side, that also gives you the opportunity to customize your services to suit your own taste. So it all depends on the peculiarities of the situation. If you buy your own land and you decide to build on it, you might decide, okay, you don't want to rely on the estate grid, for instance. If you live in or if you intend to live in an estate, you might decide you want to install solar panels so that you have access to your own power supply. Or you could decide you want to drill your own borehole and control your water supply instead of relying on the grid from the estate. It all depends on the peculiarities of the situation once again. Number 3, flexibility. Now, acquiring an apartment gives you a bit more flexibility than buying land and building from scratch. The reason is because some developers, like us for instance, we allow clients to come together and co-own an apartment. So you could have 2, 3, 4 or even more clients coming together to co-own, and they share all the benefits that accrue on that apartment. Whereas if you are buying land from the scratch and you are building, it could be a bit more difficult to co-own with others. Typically, people own land alone and build on it. So if you don't have a budget for that, it might be more difficult for you to buy the land and build alone. You might be possibly more inclined towards acquiring an apartment in conjunction with other people, and then you build together. Now, the 4th point is convenience. When it comes to convenience in terms of your cash flow, I would strongly recommend that you buy the land first and then you build gradually depending on your cash flow requirements and your cash flow position. So if, for instance, you have limited cash flow and you want to acquire land in an area that you can afford but you don't have the ready cash, it's easier to acquire the land, pay over a period of time, and then you start to build gradually as your income permits. Whereas if it's a ready built apartment, you have to either pay on an outright basis or follow the installment pattern that the developer has provided, and that installment pattern may not be convenient to you. So in that situation, it is better to buy the land and then build according to your convenience and according to your taste. Finally, speed of execution. In Lagos, Nigeria, to build a house requires that you get the land, you get an architect, you get a builder, you get a consultant who would advise you on approvals, and then you start to coordinate all of these people, all of these professionals together, and then you have to start building gradually. And that could be a bit of a strain on some people, and it could take some time just in terms of planning, organizing, and all of that. Whereas if you are buying an apartment, all of that burden is taken totally off you. The developer is an expert in that field. He takes off that burden and he ensures that the building is done according to the timelines that have been promised. So that gives you that sort of freedom to relax and know that your project is going to be executed on time and on budget. So you, yes you, that is watching me, what would you rather do? Would you rather build, or would you buy an apartment and just take off the stress totally? I would like to hear from you. Drop your comments in the comment section and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching. See you some other time.